Hey, what's up, you guys? Good to see you. So we're up here at the landfill this morning. Evidently, somebody decided to walk up to this area where we're storing wire last night and help themselves and steal that. And then they also stole a bunch of stuff out of the service truck. It makes me so angry that you can't have nothing that ain't bolted down. I mean, we work hard every single day. You got to sleep sometime, and then these scoundrels are just going around the gate, walking up here and taking whatever they want. And you know, not too long ago, we had people break in over at Atomic Sand, and it's just, it's a sad state. So evidently, they just walk right up this haul road right here, and we recycle as much as we can. So we store all of our wire and stuff right here. You really can't, you can't lock this stuff up. There's just so much stuff coming out of the landfill, so these folks are just helping themselves to whatever. I mean, we've got gates and we've got fences, but people want to steal bad enough, they're gonna find a way to get in here. So we'll get all the wire and all these electric motors and stuff that gets pulled out of the trash and segregated out, and then we will wait until we got enough material, if we can keep it long enough without it being stolen, and we'll kind of go through it, process it, because it brings more money if it's processed and segregated out. But damn, it's just so disheartening when you're trying to do the right thing and recycle and work hard to make money, and people just come in and steal it from you while you're sleeping. It just pisses me right off. Now let's walk up here to the top of the landfill area. This is where we keep our service truck and park the compactor and bulldozer in the evening time. Let's see what they got us for up here. We just use this old U-Haul here to store, just stuff in, but they opened the door up on it, drug everything out, just made a mess, and I guess hand-toted what they could carry on back to who knows if they had a car waiting outside, because we checked the security cameras and we have them all over, but in these remote locations out here, you can't watch everything. Just came up in here and made a absolute mess. I mean, granted, there wasn't much but junk in this thing to begin with, but now we got to get up here and clean up all this crap. Then they even came in the back here. We had just an old hand pump for our Blue Def right here. They stole it. That's not a very expensive pump. It was just a hand pump, mainly plastic components. It's like they got to be on drugs to take the time to take the inexpensive wire and stuff that we know. They left a bunch of stuff. They kind of prepared it a little bit, wrapped it up, and left a lot. But I just don't get it. Just don't get it. Well, anyway, I'm gonna quit talking about it because it just puts me in a foul mood. Just makes me so angry. You work to have what you have, and then these sorry people just come in at nighttime when you're sleeping and take it from you. It just, I don't get it, folks. I don't get it, but that's what this world has come to, unfortunately, and it's just always going to be there. Anyway, let's take a look. It's always a busy day in the landfill. Look at the trucks coming in left and right. And we have just filled this whole area up. If you've been watching the videos, man, it's just an incredible amount of waste coming in. But beautiful day. It's really windy up here. Hopefully y'all can hear me for the wind, because it's fall time's coming up soon. And these winds of change are upon us, but the weather's much cooler. Today I think we're only getting in the mid-80s, which is a pleasant change because it has been some kind of hot this summer. I don't know, man. It's like the older I get, the less I can take and deal with the heat. So I say fall time, you just come right on. Y'all, let's go jump in the truck and let's just go do us a quick site tour and see what's happening. The guys over at Gringo this morning, they've got the grinder running. They're making some mulch. So let's go around there and check on them. And then over there at the sand plant, they're washing sand today too. So we're just gonna have to put this little incident behind us because there's nothing you can do. You can't call the cops. Like, what are they gonna do? So unfortunately, we're just gonna have to put some trail cameras out and see if we can catch the thieves, because they'll be back. And with the amount of waste been coming in lately, we're having to cover the trash up a whole lot more regularly. So that's what you can see the Volvo doing right now. He'll come up and just stack loads on top of the trash. And then when the cat dozer, it has a minute, which right now he doesn't because there's so many trucks out there on the tipping floor, and he'll come around here and he'll push the cover dirt over the trash, and that'll help in a couple of ways. One, we keep windblown litter from flying out of here with winds like we're having today, and then also reduces the risk of fire. And by law, we have to cover once a month. So we got Anderson up in the Volvo, and he'll back right out to the edge of the trash and go ahead and just start stacking a row. Then we'll come up here with the dozer and blade it out nice and smooth over the trash. I'm so happy that we bought that cat dozer with the landfill package to help out, because it was not a minute too soon with the amount of waste that we had coming in. That dozer to get in here and push that trash over to the compactor is helping keeping the floor clean and just helping with compaction, because that is the name of the game, as I've said before, in landfilling. And so that's another reason why you want to just use minimal cover. I think the law states that you just have to cover the trash. As far as the intermediate cover, there can't be any visible trash. And then once we get to an elevation where we're not going to put any more trash, then you have to put 2 feet of cover and plant vegetation and that kind of stuff. So this layer right here that they're putting down is just an intermediate layer. More trash is going to go back on top of it. Then we got our main man Rolando over here welding us a hook on the Hyundai magnet. And what that's going to do is when they get a big wrap up on the compactor back in the landfill, that wire and junk just gets wrapped up around those big old chopper wheels. So what David will do, David runs this HX 160 right here, the magnet, and what he'll do, he'll hook a cable onto that hook that they're welding on, try to get it around all that conglomeration of wire and junk, and then just simply rip it out. If not, you got to get in there with a grinding wheel, razor knife, whatever you can to get those wrap ups. They can get really, really intense sometimes. So that just makes it easier. Hook it, use the hydraulic power to rip it right out. But this machine right here has certainly paid for itself. It's got the generator up on the top, and I've done a video on this too in the past. And then that whole bucket apparatus right there is just a magnet, and we'll just pull ferrous metal out all day long pretty much, and assist with any roll-off trucks that might need a little help scratching material out of the back, or you know, helping get those wrap-ups out of the wheels. So that's what we use that machine for. We're going to jump in the truck now. Let's go check on the other operations and see what they got going on. Now we're going to stop right here. This will kind of tie into what I was telling you guys about that 2 foot of cover. So this area was officially closed landfill. There's trash up underneath us, and we had already put our 2 foot of cover. And so to save space, what we're going to do, we're now allowed to put trash on top of this area. So to save that space, we'll come in and strip this cover off. And so we're just going to repurpose it. And so we're stripping it off of here, and then it'll go up to where we just were, and we'll reuse that cover. That'll open up this airspace for more waste and keep us from having to go and dig in another area to get cover material. So you can see right here, Sam is on the Komatsu 360, and we've got more than 2 feet of cover, but there's your waste level, or the trash. And so all that material right there is cover that we brought in, shoot, I don't know, probably a couple of years ago. So just thought we'd stop and take a look at that real quick. Sam's trying to keep me from getting to him. Hey, Sam. So we just made the short little drive over here to the compost area, which y'all saw when we were standing up top. And let's see what they got going on over here. They got the roto chopper MC266 running today. Looks like they're doing some coloring. We've got the Hyundai, one of the two Hyundai 960s that we have over here at this operation. Got it feeding the roto chopper. It looks like they're making some of our beautiful red dyed mulch today, and this machine's kind of loud, so hopefully y'all can hear me. I'll stay back here so hopefully my voice will be audible. Then in the background you can see that excavator. He's feeding, looks like the roto chopper B66, so they got both of the grinders running today. Had a tremendous amount of wood waste coming in lately. That's another thing that fall time will certainly help with. All the leaf litter, limbs, people cleaning up their yards, all that'll come here and get ground up and either go into compost or wood chips. Then we've got the this is number 2 of the Hyundai 960s that we have. This one's got the big tip out bucket. He's going to go over there and probably looks like he's heading towards the red mulch, and he's going to load one of our trucks right here. Now this colored mulch more than likely will go to a number of any of the landscape supply yards that we sell the mulch to, anywhere probably at about 100 mile radius here. We're in Aiken, South Carolina, so we'll go into Georgia a little bit, but about 100 mile radius we service a good many landscape supply yards with our dyed mulch. And this big old tip out bucket, I think that's an 8-yard bucket, one of the best purchases we've ever made. I believe that's a work brow, and that thing, because the trailer sides are so high, it's hard with a standard bucket to load these trucks. As you'll see here in a minute, Austin can just go up there, hit a toggle switch inside the Hyundai, and tip that right on in effortlessly. So he'll do just a normal tip right now, and then when he's centered over the truck, you can see that bucket kind of separates from the frame there and tips it right out. Makes it really easy. So if any of y'all have a similar application with chips or lighter material, that's one of the best things that we've done right there. That work brow bucket on that Hyundai, it just it's made life a lot easier for us here. And right here, hopefully if you can hear me because of the wind and just the noise of these machines, you can kind of see the whole circle of life. So the trees will come in from the customers, need to get rid of it. Then we'll grind it with the B66, and that's called a pre-grind. It'll go through a big screen, like a 4-inch screen, just to reduce the size of it. It'll sit for a little while and age. And then we'll run it through a smaller screen with the smaller grinder, add the colored dye, and there's your final results right there. And then lastly, but certainly not least, we kind of made a full circle around the site. We'll come over here and check on the KPI wash plant. This is our little electric plant that processes all the sand. And hey, we hit it perfect timing. It's either Aaron or Luis, I can't see. I was like, that's Aaron in the big John Deere 844K there. He's dumping some material into the hopper here, and it'll feed right onto this conveyor, go all the way up to the shaker deck, which I've showed you guys in some previous videos. Shake out all the material and go down into the tank, get washed, and then it'll go into the concrete sand ready for sale pile right there. And it looks like we got something else cool happening too. So all the stuff that gets washed off the sand, the rock, clay material, comes into this pit. We've got Luis and the John Deere 724. He's got to come periodically and clean this pit out before it fills up with just clay balls and sticks and rocks and mud. It's a dirty job around here, guys, but somebody's got to do it. If we don't get splashed first, we better get up on this wooden deck here. And you can see what's coming out of the sand. We're in a little bit dirtier material now than usual, because we had to strip some more land to go find some sand to be able to process. And until you get down probably 20 feet or so, it's just more organic material, more rock, more clay, more roots, and that type of stuff. So he'll have to clean this pit out pretty regular due to that fact that it's just a dirtier material as we get down to the cleaner sand. So you can kind of see the stuff coming off that scalper screen right there. So that's the only screen that we got. Let's see. No, I lied. So this is the double deck screen. So the big stuff will come off this chute here. And then if it doesn't get taken off there by the scalper screen, it goes onto the second screen, and your smaller rock and stuff will come out right over there. And everything else is sand. It goes down into the tank where you can see it being washed, and then those screws will move it right on up to the conveyor belt, and it's ready for sale. But you know what, guys? I really got to give props to everybody that works here and works with us, because as dirty an operation as this is, and look how clean they're able to keep this pad. Normal sand washing operations, this is piled high with sand and junk, and these guys, you know, they just do a fantastic job, even though it's a dirty process of keeping things clean. And that keeps the safety people off of our back, because they know we care, and we try to just maintain a safe work environment, keep it clean and tidy. But speaking of the safety guys, they're over at Atomic Sand today. So that's what I'm about to do, is hop in the truck, head over there, and just see how things are going. But those guys over there do a fantastic job too, so I'm not too much worried about it. That makes my life so much easier. When you got good people that take care of the stuff and work safely, you don't have to worry when the safety man shows up. But other than that, guys, appreciate y'all watching. As always, drop me a comment down below. Hope everyone has a fantastic day. We'll see you on the next video.